favorite rock. Rocco, 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 our favorite rock. Rocco, 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 our favorite rock.
Gotta love Elmo.
Almost a psycho. Bet you know that. No. All right.
R.I.P. Elmo.
How are you?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
At least I'm over my sinus infection ear stuff. That was a fun month.
I think I'm on the right side of my own, which was last live stream.
My friend's going through it now. It's like this head cold stuff is some serious business. So
yeah.
Oh, we've brought some sanity back to the comments. So Gil is on an extended vacation for people watching. So hopefully he won't assault your eyes in the comment section. It is what it is. Maybe I don't know how he could make amends because I can't talk. I'm sure he'll attack me in Strongman's comments, which will further reinforce why he's out of here. So
yeah, he has the habit of doing such things to like random people about.
I try and maintain like you attack people's investments, but not them personally. And when I moderate discords, I try and enforce that. And it's just like when you cross the line where you start like physically like or verbally assaulting people directly, rather than just commenting on people's investments. That's what we're here for. Fine.
Yeah.
Say you're dumb because you bought this stock. Don't just be like you're a dumb idiot coward. It's like, what are you doing? But so anyways, here we are. But now let's make fun of some Yield Max people.
Hooray.
Well, not make fun, but this is a fun, I love this subreddit. So for people, please follow Yield Max ETFs subreddit. So you get to see the people out there buying these products, right? What are they doing? This was a interesting like day or two of posts. I've just like a good plethora of different people. You had this guy. So he went shopping. Thanks, Yield Max. He bought a boat. That will definitely your distributions will definitely last as long as that boat. So good luck to you. What else do we got? Oh, here's another good one. Thanks to Yield Max, this guy quit his job. That's sustainable. Good job, boy. You're gonna do it. Like,
oh, no.
Nothing could go wrong. Even though all the Yield Max funds are losing money, their distributions since inception are all going down. But it doesn't matter because he quit his job. He's got $50,000 probably that he could collect, and he's going to live off that for 40 years. That's how it works. Nothing could go wrong. You're a hater.
Proposition.
You don't want $10,000 a month? You don't want it? Why would you not want that?
Yeah. For those that don't know, that's a very clear reference to a specific person.
Okay, this one is short, but one of my favorites. Because I've kind of said, right? I've said this how many times? Yield Max preys. It's a predatory fund that prey on people that don't know any better, right? Innocent, gullible people that buy these funds. So here, this guy, when MicroStrategy or strategy, I was called MicroStrategy, was at its high, Misty was 46. So he's talking about like the high, like more recent times. Okay. When MicroStrategy's at its low, Misty was at 16. Okay. We're looking at charts. Cool. Yeah, he is right. So MicroStrategy and Misty shared the highs. Then they went through a crypto downturn the last few months. They both had lows. So, okay, facts. So then his next statement, since March, MicroStrategy is up big, but Misty didn't recover as much. No, it didn't. If you'd watch my videos on Tesla, I perfectly explained to you why this is how these funds work. That video was like a year ago. So I told people this was how it was going to happen. The only variable was how long it would take, right? The destruction of these yield max funds. So it's up 20% from its lows, while MicroStrategy is up 50% from its lows. Any thoughts? Okay, my thoughts to this guy. You should have watched my videos, because I would have told you have the same risk of losses with these option derivative based strategies yield max is doing, but you don't share in the recovery of the stock. And if we go through these cycles of downturn and then rebounding and recovery of a stock, given a certain amount of time, it's going to lead to the destruction of all these yield max funds. Just how long will it take? I don't know the volatility of these stocks. The more volatile it is, the faster you're going to have a decline of these funds. Look at Tesla as an example. Very volatile stock. Tesla has been an abject, abomination of investment. So just like, this is just like, these are the people that buy it. He has no idea what's going on, right? He's going to get crushed. He's going to lose whatever. He's going to lose a lot of money. And these people, you hold it till it, and they're like, well, I'm just going to get my money back, and then I'm just going to let it ride. I'm like, okay, well, you're getting taxed and feed to death in that scenario, because the first year you're not going to get taxes. You're going to get them the second year, most likely. And then say the fund goes down 50%, and then if the fund's down 50%, maybe the economy's doing bad at the same time as the yield max funds are getting crushed. So now you panic, you sell it, you think, oh, I can tax loss harvest. No, you can't, because your cost basis is zero. Now you get a giant tax bill. The economy's taking a dump. Maybe you lose your job, because if the economy's going down, maybe your job gets rid of you. All these bad decisions are going to hit you at one time. So they don't get it yet. Like, they will at one point, maybe. They don't understand the destruction these funds will cause to your life, because it's going to hit you all at once.
Mhm.
It's not going to be gradual. It's going to hit you in your life like that, and you're going to be like, it's too late now, and you've just got destroyed. So these people crack me up. This guy used his yield max to make his payment on his Lamborghini. There you go. Good job, buddy. That'll last forever. So yeah, that was the main ones. There was one more, but I don't want to go through it. So, and then, oh yeah, the one was I think the other one I saw was somebody crying about how they lost like $8,000 on Misty. They had like 5,000 shares, and they can't handle the volatility. They all think they can, until it starts going the wrong way, and then they're going to sell it, and they're going to take huge losses. Oh my God.
Yeah, but some of the most painful stuff, underperforming and paying tax.
The return
not
of
a fun
capital
combo.
is what's going to kill them, because they're going to think
Oh,
they
yeah.
found the magic to retirement. The first year, they're not going to get taxed, most likely. But if you get 100% yield, so by year 2, now your cost basis is zero. They're going to get that tax bomb's going to hit them in year 2, and they're not going to know it's coming, because people like that guy who showed the comment don't know what they're doing. So they're going to get like $20,000 tax bombs, and they have no money put aside for that. So anyways, big beautiful bill.
Yep, onto this one.
So it's not, so for people watching, I guess, I mean, this is not law yet. It's going to go to the Senate.
Mhm.
The Senate's going to create their own bill. Then they're going to take each bill that is not the same, and they're going to go into a meeting of the minds where they will hash out what they actually want it to look like. In agreement between both sides of Congress, and then they'll have to re-vote on it a second time. It's going to take like the better part of the entire year to do this, basically. And then at the same time, they still have to clear a $4 trillion. I think they're going to ask for $4 trillion on the debt.
Mhm.
I think.
Yeah,
So that's got to get done before this. That can't wait for this to get done, because they're going to run out of money pretty soon. So some of the stuff, like, there's no point of reading through all of this, because it'll change. But you can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to lower taxes, right? They're lowering taxes. They're keeping the Trump tax rates, which is essentially just lowering taxes, making some of the Trump tax changes permanent. Some of the deductions they're either keeping or extending for businesses. It's pretty clear what the goal here is, though. I mean, it's a dangerous game we're playing here. Like, not even just talking about Trump, but just like this whole strategy of, this is just my opinion, but his goal is to bring all this revenue and gross domestic product of the world back to the United States, right? So lowering taxes, incentivizing people to come back to the US with tariffs also. And you're hoping that the answer to the debt problem in the United States is to outgrow it. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to outgrow the debt of the United States. This is a dangerous game because they're not cutting spending. They're actually, so they're not cutting spending really. Doge is not really saving much money. A lot of what Elon did has already been reversed in the courts.
Mhm.
So what's he save? A few $100 billion? Okay. We're running trillions of dollars deficit still. So this is a dangerous game. I mean, and I think what's telling you a lot about this is the bond market. The bond market doesn't lie. Like, the bond market is telling you what the markets think of this tax plan. Like, look at it shoot up. Freaking, it just keeps going up. And and then you had the downgrade of the credit. Like, the markets are telling you they see what, like, this is not going to help the debt crisis in the United States. They don't have confidence in it as it's presented. So I don't, like, what's the answer? I don't know what the answer is. No one can figure this out. No one wants to cut. They all say they want to cut until it actually comes to the day that we have to cut. Nobody wants to cut. Like, do Republicans really want to cut Medicaid like they were talking about? I don't think so.
No, because old people vote in the U.S.
These are old. Yeah. Who relies on that? You're talking about, like, poor people. Okay, fine. You want to take their health insurance, but then they provide money to hospitals. These rural hospitals need Medicaid, right? Otherwise, all these people won't have insurance at all. So it's not just about, like, just huge swaths of America would be affected by cuts to Medicaid. So then they're like, well, we'll just cut out, like, the waste, fraud, and abuse. Okay, well, we're not like a banana republic. There's not as much fraud and abuse as you think that would make it's a rounding error. I'm pretty sure. I deal in government audits. Like, we manage billions of dollars flow through my department. Every year we maybe find a few thousand, tens of thousands maybe, that's incorrectly used. Okay. It's like, it's just, it's insignificant to the pie. We're not like I said, it's not like 20% of government grants and government spending is fraud and abuse and waste. So it's kind of ridiculous to think that makes a difference. It's political nonsense. It's not going to make a difference for the debt. You score political points with what Elon did. That's all you did. But this is tough. I mean, so nobody wants to cut, right? One party wants to raise taxes, but they don't really want to raise taxes on everything. They want to raise taxes on specific people that are not their voters. So nobody wants to cross the board expense cutting. No one wants to do across the board tax generating activities in the United States. So we're just in this weird middle ground where, like, how are we going to fix the debt? Nobody really wants to do the hard choices because it's politically suicide. So, I mean, one thought I had was just like, you restrict the growth of government. I think that's the only thing you can do. You restrict the growth of government to less than GDP growth. You try really hard. And then that is outgrowing the debt almost. You would, in fact, be outgrowing the debt. But we did that in New York, actually, for a while, under Cuomo. Well, the one thing Cuomo did that actually was smart, because New York was in a really bad place after the Great Recession. It just, like, the revenue, fell apart, but then we had all these expenses, and it was like the size of government was growing like 8, 9, 10%. It just kept accelerating. And he was like, no, 2%. The government will grow 2% per year. And it was his decision. And in New York, they have line item veto power. So the governor actually has more influence on a budget than, like, a president of the United States. So he was able to push this through. He restricted the growth of governments. They needed super majorities to override that 2%. And it's actually worked in New York. Now we have over a decade of facts, and we're in good financial shape now because of this. We restricted the growth, whereas the revenue has continued to climb. Can is the reason this probably won't work in the United States though? It's nobody. This is not a political message you can sell to the public, right? We're going to cut government waste is easier to sell to people than saying we're going to restrict the government growth to under GDP. It's like you can't sell that message to people. So there's no good answer to this. There's nobody really is on the side to fix this debt problem. I think that's just where we stand. Everybody wants half solutions and that don't affect their voters. So
got to kick the can down the road.
Yeah, I mean, I would be like, okay, it took us 50 years to get into this mess. Maybe how about we do a plan where it takes 50 years to get out of it? So it's not so sudden. It's more of a gradual transition to get out of this debt issue. Sell that to politicians. You're not going to sell that to politicians either. So I don't know. So I guess Trump's big, beautiful bill is cutting tax across the board, and then tariff revenue will make some sort of dent, but they're not going to take the tariff income and put it on the debt. They're going to use it to pay for the tax deductions. So it's like debt. It doesn't affect the debt at all. Unless they get this huge growth in the GDP of the United States that they're hoping for with robotics and AI, because people in America are not making iPhones. We're just not going to do it. And people in America aren't going on roofs, right?
Yeah.
I hate to break people ain't doing roofing here. So
and even if you were able to do it, it's not like your 1920s Ford Model T assembly line that it's going to look incredibly different, even if you were able to pull that off, which is a big if.
Mm-hmm.
So
we know this is not easy. Can it succeed? Maybe this vision of what they're trying to do, the Republicans, might work. It could work. If it doesn't work though, the debt's just going to balloon and balloon and balloon. The growth is not going to pay for that growth in the debt. Then, interest rates are going to start going up. This is what we got to be scared about. The debt accelerates, the interest rate accelerates, and it just starts compounding, and it goes really bad, really fast. So I don't know. We're in a tough spot in the United States, I guess. But it's an interesting gambit. Who knows what the next 5 years will look like? We don't know. People are all scared now. What? I've heard people always say the red line. It's funny because people always set red lines and then we cross them and nothing happens. So it's I don't put a lot of emphasis in red lines, but I see a lot of people saying 200% debt to GDP is the red line. If we go over it, we're screwed. I don't know. I'm sure somebody said 100% was the red line years ago, and here we are 123 now.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, so if they can get the GDP to start growing at 4 or 5% per year, then maybe we can start outgrowing the debt, and then this can get lowered, and then it's not such a bad place. Maybe the interest rate can go down, which he doesn't have any control of. But oh boy. But I mean, GDP is, and if you cut government spending, you are going to cut the gross domestic product of the United States. That's the other part of this. So if you want to do hardcore cuts to the government and the spending of the government, that affects the economy because you have contractors and hospitals need Medicaid, right? And stuff like this. So they're not separate issues. So, I mean, the GDP is growing, which is funny because if you look at it, the GDP is accelerating with the debt to some degree since 2000. It's just we're in a weird place. Which we can thank the worst president of my life for the start of all this shenanigans with the debt and spending. George Bush 1. He started this ball because Clinton actually had surpluses. I was in high school, but Clinton ran 2 surpluses, I think, before .com. And then George Bush came in He cut taxes aggressively, but not spending. So he started to balloon the debt. And then ever since, George Bush, it's just gotten worse and worse. And it's systemic at this point. We've had 25 years of the government operating like this. So I don't know. There's no easy way out of this. Look at all these people in here.
All the comments.
Look at this guy. I can't even say that. Raka Kappa. Cow Caps. That's my Canadian coming out.
I'm not going to attempt.
Could you help look into United Health? Oh my God. Is this a good swing trade? It was a good swing trade. It was. Oh my God. Did you see when I posted in Cabo Mindset the guy that YOLO'd into United Health at 327?
I think I might have.
Yeah. So he waited until it went from 254-ish all the way up, all the way to 327 over like what, a week? And then he decided to put his freaking what was it, the winnings of his selling his house. He dumped all the money he made from selling his house into it at the fucking after it already ran. And then it dumped.
Oh no.
If I had seen that post and I still had, I would be like, sell it right now. They're the tarts are going in, get out. But
yeah.
Like I could tell you what I did. And I don't like United. I'll trade it, but I'm not going to invest in it. So I was watching it as it kept falling and bad story after bad story. And then the DOJ story came out, and that was like the second big drop. I bought it with a few other people. Let me pull it. It was the second big drop when it got down to like 250 range. Because I looked, I'm like, okay, it's at a multiple, like a forward P of like 10 at that point. I'm like, that's crazy for a company like this at that point. Like, that's just like absurd value. Even, I'm not going to say the C word. Okay, maybe. But I mean, it's pretty cheap, I think. A company like this at a forward multiple of 10, you're like, Jesus Christ. So I bought some as a kind of a joke. Jesse bought some. I think somebody else did too. I think that's like if you want to talk like risk, asymmetric risk on this, where you have better upside, that was the time to do it. So here we are now. You watched it run all the way up 320-ish. And I'd said to people originally, I'm like, when it was at 250s, I'm like, sell it at 300 because I think it's just going to float around 300 for a while with all this questionable activity. And here we are. It's just going to float. It just floated back to 300. So, I mean, I don't think it's that appealing at 300. I mean, everything we've read, it's like next year is when they can recover. There's no growth.
Yeah.
They have to fix the company, for God's sakes. So I don't know. It's not very appealing to me. I think it's an evil company. I think it's evil to its core. I think it's going to take a lot of changes and self-reflection for them. And I don't care what people can disagree with me. It's fine. But they have like the highest, like a lot of the bad metrics on insurance companies, United Health leads them. Like they have they disapprove claims all the time. Nobody has anything nice to say about this company. Like, this stuff has to matter at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, I
no doctors say anything nice about this company ever. The complaints online are horrible.
Yeah.
The way people are treated with United Health. And then they've been in trouble. I mean, there's lots of claims at this point, which they've denied them all. If you want to believe that company, then go ahead. But
yeah,
I don't think it's that appealing. But
yeah, for me, I never bothered playing with this one just because, frankly, I didn't know enough, and still right now I probably don't know enough. But the thing that I see is that their primary thing, like the lever that they're reaching for to pull, is raise rates. But the problem that I have is how did they get this low? What happened? Well, they said, costs have really ramped up. I don't know enough as to if they have enough control over that, or if them pulling the lever on rates is going to be clearly and cleanly enough to offset future costs. So for me, I know you said you wanted it as a swing trade, and I don't know what time frames you're looking for, but
Oh, I'm already done with
yeah,
it.
yeah,
So,
like well, not you, the commenter.
yeah,
Yeah. So it's good luck.
you need like people. Oh, it's discounted. I'm like, you need real discounts for something like this. Like,
Yeah,
this is as bad as it gets. Okay, they said that what three DOJ investigations ago. People probably were saying this is as bad as it gets, and it's like, oh, it can get worse. And like Medicaid cuts are not off the table with
mhm,
Trump's bill. I mean, we don't know. Maybe they're cutting a bunch of Medicaid costs. That's going to affect a company like United Health. So you have political risk from DOJ investigations and congressional, budgetary, decisions. Um, Trump's made comments that he doesn't like the PBMs and how they charge prescription drug prices. He's already done an executive order on that. You're getting attacked on all sides if you buy a company like this. And this company is it's just massive. Like I doubt most people that are buying it at this point fully understand a company of this scope and all the little businesses they have.
yeah.
I don't Swing trading, it's a little different.
Mhm.
It's more like when it hit to 250, it was more just dare I say I looked at some charts, and then you could see then some big buys came in when it got into the 250s. So I just traded it, and it was like a momentum trade at that point. But if you're saying you're going to hold it, now we're talking. Okay, now we got to look
Yeah,
at like the
it's
company.
investment fundamentals. Yeah,
Yeah, let's look at
totally get it.
fundamentals now.
Yeah,
It's not growing. They've told you it's not going to recover. They have no growth until next year as
mm,
soon as. So I don't know why. I don't get it, but
not
everyone's talking about it. So the comments come, right?
yeah,
All the Twitter posts, people comment about it constantly. The shock value of how much it's lost, and people think it's cheap now just because they look at a chart and they go, "Oh, year to date, it's down 42%." So it's got to be a buy because I'm going to go look at the last 5 years of freaking, PE ratios and free cash flow. So they
yeah.
just get
Buy
back
low,
to
sell
that,
high.
bro. Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll just get back. Hey, oh god, let's look at the 5 year chart. Oh my god, it was a 600. It'll get back there, right? Okay. Um, Turnarounds are hard.
yeah, yeah,
Or this might even be more than a turnaround. This is like I don't know, reconstitution of this company.
yeah.
But
It's
I would love to see them actually change course and not be such a scumbag, evil company that denies people their freaking claims that they have every right to, with the insurance premiums they pay. So, whatever. I've spent way too much time on this evil company. So, you missed the swing trade, I guess, is what we could have just said. I mean, I think it's that swing, that was a shock value swing because 250 was freaking crazy. See something like this go down that fast. All right, we don't have to talk about we already talked about that enough.
yeah, the big beautiful
Big,
bill.
big, beautiful bill. Trying to see. Hold on.
Yeah, we got some wonderful topics still ahead
I
of us.
totally forgot to talk about this last week when we
Yeah,
talked about
all
I
I can
can't
say
not talk about
is
this. It's like one of my
yeah,
favorite subjects.
it's about time.
Man, if you could go back, I know I talked about this like a year ago. I know it's on my old streams, but I fucking hate it. I hated so much when they got rid of the HBO name. I was like, I wanted to like scream. Like, you're just like, are you crazy? Like this is a Mount. I'm not even kidding. This is a Mount Rushmore brand in the United States to me. If you had like if you'd had a Mount Rushmore of brands in the United States, I would put HBO on it. Honestly, everybody knows what HBO is, right? You know what the sound, the HBO sound,
Yep.
the intro. Everyone knows this. You know what HBO is. It's the first. It was the first cable network in the United States. Like, this is an important freaking trademark, HBO, and they just threw it in the garbage. a bunch of clown freaking people, analysts and directors on the board, or whoever fucking did this, just complete clowns. I couldn't believe it. And then finally they've come to their senses. So what they were trying to do, I think, is they wanted to become Netflix, right? They wanted to not just, because HBO is not just a brand, but you also identify quality, like dramas and shows like Game of Thrones and The Sopranos, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
You can kind of envision what an HBO show is, and they try and stick to that, I think, pretty well. And then there's like you get movies like after the theaters, and then they're like, well, we're going to buy these Discovery assets, so now we're gonna be more than just HBO. We're going to be like 600-Pound Life and Real Housewife shows and Magnolia Network and all this shit. It's like it didn't work. That's really, I think they just realized it didn't work. There's only one HBO, or there's only one Netflix. So I think they're giving up on that goal of a comprehensive streaming service like Netflix. But so that's, I think, good for them. Like, do I want to own the stock? Not. I don't know if I particularly want to own the stock, but at least they're recognizing the faults that they took that branding away. I couldn't believe. It still makes me mad. I couldn't believe they took HBO away. So I don't even think the Max thing is necessary. I would just call it HBO at this point. This Max, nobody cares about what Max is. It doesn't mean anything. They're just wasting marketing. So there's all sorts of memes online about all the names they've gone by. HBO Go, HBO Max. There was one other, right? There was like HBO. There's been like 5 HBOs, different versions of it, streaming. Then there was an app for the people that bought it through your cable provider, so that, which was different from the streaming one. So, but now they've merged it all. So we'll see. Hopefully they stick to what HBO is, quality programming. I don't know what they're going to do with the Discovery assets, though. That's the monkey in the room now. What do you do with the Discovery assets and HGTV and stuff?
Fuhat says apparently that they're spinning stuff. They could be. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's for people to say, oh, they should just sell it. Okay. I mean, that's easy to say, but who's going to buy?
Yeah.
Who's going to buy Discovery? Just like Comcast is throwing off their cable networks. Who's going to buy that?
Mhm.
That might be another.
Oh yeah. No,
I have a thought on that.
Mhm.
That might be an interesting investment, because I think someone might swoop in and buy that actually, just for like CNBC. I don't know. I got to think about that one, but I think that one's going to get swooped in and bought. Like what was the one Kellogg spun off? Canova?
Oh yeah. I think so.
That got bought real fast. I should have thought about that one more. But those brands those snack brands, like that was an easy acquisition target for the other players in the food business. Kellanova. Yeah. So like it was like, I think it was like Cheez-Its and Pop-Tarts, stuff like that. I mean, I think it was Mars bought it, but so hopefully HBO, I mean, do a unique I don't even know if they want to do their own independent streaming service anymore. I would just license out, honestly, HBO. Have maybe just have an app just for your specific HBO content, but also license HBO products to the other streaming services. I mean, the players have already won. It's Netflix, it's Disney, it's Amazon, and then I guess to a smaller degree, Apple, I don't think makes money on their streaming service. I think it's just like I think they do it just to show that they can do it and put out really quality shows. So, but thank God they came to their senses. I would get rid of the Max, just make it HBO again. I still subscribe to HBO. That's why I do care, because like it's the only I pay. I think I pay $15 a month for HBO, so I do pay for it. I am a customer. But do you have it, or just Netflix? What do you have? I don't have.
I have YouTube Premium and Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's a no for me. Fuhat shared a link from Reuters. Seems like they're in the process or attempting to spin off MSNBC and CNBC.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. So
you know what I would say? Take all these cable assets that nobody wants, because I think 3 companies are spinning off their cable assets right now, right?
Mhm.
Comcast, Warner Brothers will eventually do something with Discovery, and there was one more. Maybe it was Universal. Just package them all together and make it some new garbage company nobody wants. Throw all your debt in it. I mean, that's really what if they've got. Oh man,
Oh yeah.
if they could figure out a way to spin off Discovery with this freaking disgusting pile of debt that AT&T stuck them with, maybe. I mean, they did pay some of it off, 14 billion-ish. I mean,
oh yeah.
But I mean, still, that's just an absurd amount of debt for a company like this. I mean, what's their kind of cash flow are they generating? Okay, not terrible.
Yeah, it's not terrible, but it was enough for concerns. Like I think like full fairness to the viewers, I dabbled in Warner Brothers in the past and got burned by it. And I think the straw that broke the camel's back was like they did some sort of impairment, if I recall correctly. Yeah, yeah, and it like the cash flows that they either said or certainly what they reported at the time were not enough for the offset on that. And yeah, yeah. Yeah, so like I get
I can get some more financial data. I want to look at the Comcast spinoff. Maybe there's an initial filing. That might be a good topic for like next week.
Oh yeah. Because like there's parts of
I think
Comcast
that's an
that are
acquisition
really cool.
target. My gut tells me someone's going to buy that because there are some interesting assets. I think they're going to package with that. CNBC, we all make fun of it, but it is like the standard bearer of financial news. Like,
Yeah,
you ever
US.
watch Bloomberg? Bloomberg is boring as hell. Honest, I can't watch it for more than 10 minutes. It's so boring. When people say they don't want the entertainment, they just want the new, like the financial info. I'm like, most people, that's not. You need
Some.
both.
Yeah,
You need some entertainment with the financial news. You can't, because like Bloomberg, man, you just like, it just sucks all the life out of you sometimes listening to it. The Nikkei opened minus 400, and in other news about the euro dollar, it's like, oh my god,
a little bit of life here, please.
Some of the driest freaking TV ever.
Yeah,
it's just interesting. They're nobody's buying Discovery. Nobody wants these assets. Like, yep. But like HBO and then Warner Brothers film business, right? Interesting. And then they have maybe some of the IP from Discovery they would keep that they could use to make new shows on HBO. I doubt there's much there that they could farm from. So we'll see. I mean, they got Harry Potter, so they're going to have a Harry Potter show. So they're already farming some of their IP for HBO shows. At least I'm a customer. I don't know if I'd be an investor in it, but at least it's a more interesting bit. I thought this was a pile of shit the first time I saw it. Like I think I did an episode with Fabio.
Yeah,
and some guy told me I was an emotional investor.
Yeah, you were adamant, like
and like, how do you buy a company that has like 4 carriers worth of debt? Like, you could build 4 super carriers with the debt Warner Brothers had, which maybe we should have bought AT&T because it's done quite well since they dumped all that debt on Warner Brothers. It just took a while before it actually came to fruition. But so what's next? Trade wars.
Oh yes. This.
I think that's the first subject I put on, anyways. But we're back. We are back. So I think people forgot that this was still a thing. People were so excited when the Chinese tariffs got reduced. And then they're like, oh, we got a trade deal with the UK. That's the first one. We're back. It's like, well, we haven't had any trade deals with trade deficit countries. UK is a surplus country. So it's like, there's like 5 countries that are like trade surplus countries. Okay. If we get deals with those 5, like, who gives a shit? It doesn't matter. Like, we got to see the deals with the deficit countries, because that was a problem that was identified by Trump. He kept saying like a deficit in a trade deficit is a debt you owe the United States. That's what he keeps saying. So we don't even know what that means as far as how that would shape a trade deal yet, because there are none. So we don't have any of these, which are the more crucial trade deals, right? So anyways, it's back on the table. So he's harassing United States companies, telling them that they're going to have to absorb, like he's been harassing Amazon and Walmart. They were going to like post
Yeah.
what the trade
You absorb
impact
it.
was.
Yeah.
And they've cowed-tailed him, so it's kind of funny. But I don't know. Apparently, I was wondering, like, how is he going to charge? He's going to charge Apple a specific tariff. Like, that's fucking weird. He's going to just charge Apple 25%. But we talked about this before. It's like, well,
Yeah.
the whole point, he's using emergency presidential powers to do these tariffs, and it's not worked its way through the courts yet. So, I mean, I guess we'll see if it stands up in court. But there's a few websites people can go to that help you track where like trade deals are. And there's nothing to look at basically. So we don't know. And then people are like, well, you know, Bessett is a top G. He's going to do great deals. It's like, but they already said he's only doing the Chinese deal. Lutnick is in charge of the rest of the world. That was the last thing they told us. So Bessett ain't making deals with India and friggin' Spain or the Euro zone, unless they're going to tell us some new facts. I don't have a lot of faith in it. So the money I took out in February, I'm not putting it back in. I'm holding it on the sideline. When I started, I'm putting new money in, but I'm not. The bag is secure because I don't trust any of this shit. So
yeah, like I think that's very understandable because like there are two camps more or less of, or like big tents of thought. One which is, you know, your perspective of, hey, like he means what he says. He's going to get at least some sort of tariffs out of this, for good or bad. And the other one is, oh, he's just like, you know, saber rattling. It'll all get negotiated away. Not a big deal. And you know, for me, in my perspective, it's more of a let's wait and see, because all these quote unquote deals in the past were temporary, and you know, all we did was kick the can down the road. Time will reveal all, and be relatively flexible. The interesting thing that I thought was, like, recently, it seems like the market did show signs of like, hey, this isn't good, but it didn't like correct in a meaningful way. And you know, like if we get surprised on the downside, like people could be off sides, and that'd be interesting.
I think people thought that after the market took a nosedive after Liberation Day, a lot of people had the sentiment that Trump changed his posture, or Trump submitted to the market. I saw that. I don't believe any of that. Trump doesn't. So wait. We know who Trump is. Bombastic, never give up, never surrender. But you think he gave up because the stock market went down a bit? I'm like, no, I don't believe it one bit. Like, he was just, I mean, you know, maybe, you know, the 90-day pause. Okay, fine. He temporarily, maybe he was intending to do that the whole time. Maybe he just wanted to do the shot across the bow, scare the shit out of them, and give them 90 days to make a deal. Well, we're getting to that 90 days. We don't have any deals. So now you gave these countries 90 days to think about what to do. And the equation for these countries is like, okay, do we bow to this dude, this orange face guy in the United States? Or do we just say, well, he's only got a year and a half till midterm elections in the United States. F him. We're not doing nothing. He's got more on the line than we do. We'll survive this. I don't know. I don't think Trump isn't reverse course. I don't see it. So he's the tariff guy. He campaigned on this. He talked about tariffs in the 80s in New York. So I don't think he's reverse course at all. I don't know why people thought so much of that. And I don't know. This will be an interesting. The Eurozone and China will be everything here, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Because right now we don't have any tariffs on Canada, one of our other big trading partners. But I don't think the Europeans are going to play ball. The Chinese, I mean, I don't know enough about the Chinese to say what they're going to do, but I don't think the Europeans are going to play games. And look what he's saying here. Like, what does this statement even mean? he's not looking for a deal with the EU after threatening 50% tariffs. It's like, so what are we doing? We're not, like, what is he trying to accomplish? I think he has ulterior motives other than just trade deals. I think he tries to do, like, who knows? He might ask for them to revise monetary policy in the EU or get rid of some laws in certain parts of the EU. Crazy shit like that. You don't know. Does he have any right to do that? No. That doesn't mean he won't. And we have no base because we have no deficit nation deals to look at and say, oh, this is what they'll look like. So we don't know. Like I said, if we make a deal with a country we have a trade surplus with, like, don't draw any conclusions from that. You can't.
Yeah.
It's not the goal of this. But he said he views those deficits as a debt owed to the United States. I don't think he's changed course. Well, people should be, do you buy all these dips if you got 40 years till retirement? Right? Probably. The AI there's always positive things. Data center spending is not going down.
Yeah.
We talk about this all the time. Like, data center thesis is as fully intact as ever. So you can look, say, okay, these companies, the spending's not going down. Maybe it's like it's not accelerating, but it's still growing. Some of the capex and AI. So it's not. So the capex is still growing, but it's not like last year where it was like growing and accelerating the growth.
Yeah, that rate of growth. Yeah.
Which is a reason some of them have kind of come back. But I mean, that thesis is as intact as ever. So it's like you find the ones you want to play that are in great shape. And then when they dip, because everyone dips, you buy them, like ANET, like we did. Some of us bought Arista when it got obliterated with everything else. So you buy the quality when everything gets clapped by macro.
Yep. And of course, likewise, I like if the worst of the news came out and really ugly tariffs came out and market craps the bed, I think you and I are both fully prepared. ANET could get hurt, maybe unrightfully so, and probably are okay with that.
Like Serpy said, we don't know what the deals are going to look like with a trade deficit nation. Yeah, is Trump going to be, you got to buy $20 billion of stuff from us, and the country's going to go, what does that even mean? Like, is Vietnam supposed to just magically just go buy $20 billion of what? Corn? What if they don't? They're going to buy it and then throw it in the ocean? Like, what are you asking them to do?
Yeah.
And these countries aren't as rich as us. So it's like, if, there might be a trade deficit because people make less money in certain parts of the world or most parts of the world than us. And it's like, they don't buy as much shit as we buy. We're like the king consumer. So we'll see. That'll be the first. We'll see. The first deficit nation deal. We heard Japan would be first, or South Korea. We've heard who else did they say would be first? I mean, Mexico, Canada, I think are different because they haven't imposed these tariffs, so it's different. He's dealing with them differently. So, talking about other than those two, I don't know. Russia, for all we know, it's going to be Russia's the first deal, for God's sakes. So we don't know.
Yeah.
I love how the new Prime Minister of Canada is he goes right to the White House and he actually performed better than Trudeau. He's like, yeah, we're not the 51st state. It's not happening. And then Trump's like, never say never. He's like, no, we're saying never. We're literally saying never. It's hilarious. But I don't want to get into Canadian. I hear a lot from my Canadian relatives. So,
oh no,
you think certain people in the United States hate Trump, man? Canadians.
Oh yeah.
Man, you get my cousin started about Trump. Oh my goodness, fucking, she hates him. But they don't understand U.S. politics at all. They never do. So it's fine. I don't get into political debates across international borders.
Yeah, because I'm
nobody wins that.
Canadian politics.
Nobody. You don't arguing politics with someone in a different nation about your politics. It's like, I'm not going there. I think there's only one more thing to talk about, really.
Yeah. We only got one more on the title.
Yeah. I almost forgot this. The original.
Oh
thumbnail.
yeah. This.
We got to talk about this.
Yeah, gotta.
This is big story now. I don't think I've seen any YouTubers talk. Maybe because it was late Friday, right?
Possibly.
22nd.
So hey, real
Thursday.
value add for sure.
So it was like Thursday, Friday before Memorial Day. So this is going to be like, this is huge. This like all the EV, like government credits, regulations, mandates, all of this stuff is going to come into question now. All of it. I think people maybe weren't suspecting this because Elon was, part of the government. So maybe they thought, oh, Elon's going to save all the EV rules because he's there and he gave Trump $250 million for his campaign. I thought a lot of this would go away because they need this money to fund their tax cuts. So there's a lot of, I didn't actually realize how much till I dug into it. Hundreds of billions of dollars of federal funds are used for like the EV tax credit, the 7,500, the solar panel credits that you get, which are also funded by your states and your sometimes utilities. What else is there? There's upgrade credits for like updating your electric and heating infrastructure. All of this stuff might go away now. It's a lot of money, which I've heard some Republicans actually want to keep some of it because of like their local constituents benefit from some of this electric clean energy policy, which is kind of hilarious to see. Have like some Congress Republican from Arkansas fighting for like windmill credits or something. Oh, whatever. But this story specifically, so California had a waiver to create their own regulation for EVs. And the House, see, the stories just said the Senate approved it. It didn't really, I had to dig to find out. The House approved this like a month ago. Senate just voted on it. And now it's going to go to Trump, which he hasn't signed as of this recording. So California was allowed waivers by Biden's administration to set some of their own policy on EVs, which normally is federal. So they're going to go to this is going to go to the Supreme Court. I mean, at some point in the next like 6 months. I think the big part people might miss is that because California is so massive, a lot of other states just took the mandates from California and just made them their own policy because California is the biggest guy in the room. So there's a lot of other states. I think Massachusetts and New York did. I know they applied the California mandates to our states. And then I'm sure there's other states that did it too. So now that's all in question. All these states that had these mandates to be like 50 or 100% EVs by 2035 or some bullshit like that. All of that now is like, okay, is that still a thing? And then also like the public is out against, like, this is the backlash, I think, to this push by the Biden administration on EVs. Because there was that hard push. They had the Inflation Act was loaded with EV and green energy type friggin' regulations and money. So all of that's getting clawed back, I think. This ad.
Yeah. Thanks, New York Post.
Yeah, fucking annoying. So this is coming to a head in New York. I don't talk about California a lot, but so like we adopted the California rules. Mm-hmm. So 35% of so it was it requiring 35% of 2026 models sold in the state to be emissions free. So I looked, we're not even at 10% in New York. I think we're at like 5 or 6%. So this came up locally because it's like, okay, are we going to charge? What are we doing about this? Because the way the laws were written in New York, they were going to start charging fees and penalties. I think it was to dealerships and to manufacturers that didn't sell 35% of vehicles that were electric, no carbon emissions. So then the governor came out in New York and said, well, we're not going to charge those fees and penalties, but we're not going to change the law as it's written. So it's like, what the hell does that mean? So we're in this weird spot. All this pushing of electric vehicles and clean energy by the last administration now. So now we're getting now it's the backlash. We'll see what happens. And the other part, like, okay, this is the even crazier part in New York. we're getting about New York now. The mandate now in New York is 100%. I think it was by 2030, 100% of school buses have to be electric. Fucking crazy, right? 5 years from now, all school buses across the entire state are supposed to be electric. And they haven't changed it yet, but people are starting to get pissed about this because why? There's no money attached to that mandate. So the state's just like, you're all going to be electric, but now it goes to the schools and it's like, okay, electric school buses are double the cost of diesel or hybrid. So it's like, right, why don't we go half measure, do an electric diesel hybrid model, right? How about you do that first? That's better. Nope. And then the other part, there's like, do you know the company that makes electric school buses, Lion? Did you hear that one, Lion Electric?
Yeah.
They're not doing very good. They're not doing great. I don't know if they're bankrupt yet. Here's Lion Electric. Do you think they're up to the task of building thousands and thousands of electric school buses and maintaining them?
This smells like a
Just look at that chart.
SPAC.
You tell me if they could do that. There ain't a lot of companies that are making electric school buses. So number one, it's like, who are you buying these things from? And then there's horror stories so far, like they just shut down. Like these electric school buses just break down, right? They get driven a lot. And I've read some articles about some of the schools that have bought like one or two just to start testing them, and they'll just stop working. It's like they'll go over like a bump on a bridge and it just shuts off, and their mechanics can't fix it. You know, school districts have mechanics, but they don't do EVs, so they have to call some bullshit, company like Lion, and then they're probably out of operation for a while. But it's a disaster. It's a disaster, and nothing's changed yet. Like Republicans are up in arms about it in the state. People like me are going to start making noise, but they haven't changed anything yet. So this stuff's coming to a head. I don't know about what, like in your state, is there anything like this or?
Not to my knowledge, but then again, I haven't really kept like full on tabs on it. Yeah,
my district so far has not bought any of these yet. Because if I hear that, I'm going to vote it down. Because when they buy school buses in New York, it goes to it's actually you have your school budget, and then if they want to buy like buses, it'll be a separate vote. Mm-hmm. So they literally will be like, do you approve the budget? And then next it'll be like, we want to buy 3 buses this year, yes or no. So I'll be sure to vote no if this comes up in my town. And then what do you do though? They're supposed to be all electric by 2030. And like my school, 0 is the answer right now. It's just wild times, but like these mandates are going to go away. You're going to have EV credits go away, solar panels. I think they're still going to keep the 40% business development credit, which probably has you can still use that, I think, for some of this infrastructure. We were talking about, Kale and me were talking about the carbon offset. Mm-hmm. Yeah, as far as I know, that's not been talked about, but that's a big part of the success of some of these EV companies is that they get income from your Toyota, General Motors, Fords, because they buy those carbon offsets so they don't have to build so many EVs. They can just buy the credits from Tesla and Rivian. If you get rid of that, that's the one that'll crush the EV industry the most, because that's an effect on the business's income. Whereas if they lose a $7,500 credit, that goes to the customer. So your sales could go down, but it's not directly impacting maybe their balance sheet right away. But man, so I don't know. I don't think they're going to get rid of the carbon offset, because I think that's part of my understanding. That was part of the Clean Air Act, which predates Biden. But this is all up for debate. Them forcing green and electrification of everything. We don't know. Clean air standards. Congress are more restricted than the federal. It sounds like they want to make their own standards. Yeah. So this is so Biden gave them waivers to make their own policies to some degree, because I think it was the federal government recognized that the air quality was a concern in California, so they allowed them to do some of this stuff. But it's not like individual states shouldn't be setting nationwide EV policy, which is what it happened. It was California, and then since they're the biggest state, other states just took that mantle from them and ran with it. No seatbelts on the bus, but they had lithium batteries. I don't even want to get into the burning buses because it hasn't happened, thank God, yet. But for anybody watching, like if they do want electric buses in my town, I'm going to bring my laptop and I'm going to show them videos of buses catching fire. I that's what I want to show people on those boards. I'm like, you watch these videos, because when those batteries, because those are massive lithium batteries, when those catch fire, you have like 10 seconds to get out before you're dead. They catch fire instantaneously, and then the black smoke will knock you down. It's terrifying to watch those videos. So, and oh well, no, it won't be, not those, not school buses. Like, thank God it hasn't happened yet. I haven't heard of it happening. So, hire Nikola to make electric school buses. They can take the government money and put it down. Like, because to me, it's like, okay, like I get it. School buses are diesel. Okay, diesel's dirty. I'm like, why can't you be like, all right, you have to have electric diesel buses, or maybe you need a certain percentage of your buses to be biodiesel. Like, why couldn't they go halfway? No, they had to go all the way, 100%, right?
Yeah.
There's no half measures with some of these EV people. It's everything or nothing, which is so frustrating. And it just makes no sense. I thought we already got
with a frizz? No way.
That is the quote of the night. Thought we already got a magic school bus. Chad is boring without Gil. I don't know if I'll let him back at some point. I'm sure he's watching and stewing right now.
He's somewhere.
Maybe in a few weeks he can come back. I'm gonna tell him though, like, no more. You can't just verbally assault people all the time. Fucking annoying. I'm sure he'll come after me in Strongman's live streams. Even if I'm not there, he'll just blast at me.
Oh yeah, no, like
I don't watch half of them live. I have to watch them later, but
yeah, like he's blasted like Fabio, Andrew, and other people at like other live streams also. Like it's just like excessive.
Like,
so
I get it's entertainment to people watching, but you have to realize, like, for me doing these, like, he just directly attacks Bacon and me like the whole time. Then he'll blast like 10 comments on my videos, and it's just like ridiculous. I have to go like delete half of them because it's just a crazy lunatic freaking saying like stuff. It's like a manifesto. Like he's just a fucking psycho. It's just weird. There's certain people that go they go too far with social media. It just goes, there's a line where it's just like, what the hell, dude? Like, what are you doing? Like, this is supposed to be fun entertainment. You know, I can make fun of Khmer. Like, I know lots of dirt about Khmer. Like, for instance, the Yield Max guy. I know like a lot of dirt about him. I don't fucking share it. Like, I'm not like out to ruin his life. Like, I know stuff about where he works and his family from other people sending it. I'm not putting it on my channel. Like, so it's not like all out. This is not like all out war to destroy people on finance YouTube, to be clear.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm not out to destroy people. Like, we criticize investing. And someone like Gil just takes it too far. So Strongman is now grifting. You need to carry the Grifter Slayer torch. Is he really?
Yeah.
Listen,
you know, like how he does that pendulum thing, like
Strongman does lots of videos. People like, it's hard. Like, he buys VT. He can't really talk about like investing ideas because he just buys VT. So he has like a pendulum where he goes back and forth to different types of videos.
Yeah, like,
but it's entertaining, right? That's the whole point of this. Like,
yeah, he's memeing.
Yeah. I didn't watch all of them today. I don't know his Discord has become very fun. I did not expect that, but it's actually become a very, very vibrant community. Which, like, So people talk about trading. There's crypto talk. There's the grifter channels, which are interesting. So I added a new grifter channel last week. People demanded. So, oh, it's funny. But there's a few posts every now and again I have to remove. I just like, I can't. It goes a little too far. Like, I just felt like I don't want Discord to nuke.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like all for freedom of speech, but
Yeah. No,
like,
there's no freedom.
yeah.
Yeah, it's moderated freedom of speech. Like,
yeah,
there's standards, like there's Discord standards. They
Mhm.
could come in if you're
Yeah.
doing something against their terms of service.
yeah, and they will
They could just nuke the whole freaking
Yeah.
channel. So there's certain things I've had to pull off. Like someone posted Kanye's music video.
Mhm.
That I can't even say what it's called because you get in trouble. But it's best to err on the side of caution sometimes. He uploaded a bunch of.
Yeah.
I hope you're entertained then. Strongman's always fun. So what else? I think we're at the end.
Last topic I think is Fidelity
Oh,
v.
yeah.
Schwab.
I have to say, okay. I switched from Schwab to Fidelity.
Mhm.
So hopefully people let me go to this page. Yeah. I kind of had fun with it. So I opened brokerages in like every company that I could find. Because I was like, I never really picked Schwab. So it just my last one got bought and then Schwab absorbed my USAA brokerage. So I never had a choice. So I'm like, maybe I should actually look around. So I opened an Interactive Brokers. I already had a JP Morgan that just held a few stocks. And then I had Schwab and Fidelity. I have to say, for people out here, if you're thinking of switching, like it's my comments. JP Morgan's, I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it. It's just like there's no difference between the credit card, the banking, and the investing. It's all one app at JP Morgan, and they're all the same color and it's the same format. And it's like you don't even know which one you're in. Their options menu is atrocious. I don't know. I can't show people because I already closed it.
It would be doxing or high chance of doxing.
Well, there was I would have just pulled all the money and had like $50 in it and showed people. But like the options, you can't trade options in JP Morgan. You can like buying stocks is like 4 menus. The freaking positions tab is terrible. Like everything, it sucks. Like worst one. And then at the Interactive Brokers, I think if you're like more active investing and buying options and doing all that stuff, probably the best one. Then it had like widgets, which I don't know how to describe people. You can just open an account and go look, but there's like widgets with Interactive Brokers where you can tailor it more to what you want it to look like, which none of the others do that. It is what it looks like. The dashboard is the dashboard. Interactive Brokers was the only one where you could actually change what you look at on the dashboard with different widgets that you turn on. So, and then their trading friggin' screen, probably the best one. So I was pretty impressed. I'm not I mean, when I'm retired, I would probably open an Interactive Brokers again when I'm retired. If I was going to like do stuff like a wheel strategy or something, or some fun trading, I would probably open another Interactive Brokers. So, but then I told you like Fidelity, I did not realize what I was missing out on with Schwab, but like Schwab, for people that don't know, maybe you have a different, Schwab doesn't have auto buying, which is crazy in the year 2025. The only thing you can auto buy in Schwab is mutual funds, and not every mutual fund. It's a select list. Yeah. So you can't do ETFs or stocks auto buy. The only fractional buys you can do are the S&P 500. You can't fractional buy any ETFs. So it's all manual. And I just got annoyed with it after a while, honestly. I wanted to automate stuff. And then I looked at Fidelity. Fidelity's dashboard and option chain, it pretty much is what Schwab's looks like. They're pretty close. They look about the same. And then the other the money sweeping. I didn't even know that till Jesse explained it to me. that at Schwab, if your money's just sitting in the brokerage account, you don't earn anything on it.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just
yeah,
sitting
yeah.
there.
That's one of the painful things with
Yeah.
Schwab.
So you have to do something with it. You have to put it in SGov or something.
Mhm.
Fidelity has a money market or a bank account, depending on which one you want to pick. It sweeps your money in there and you get interest off it. You don't have to do anything. You literally could just leave money in Fidelity like a freaking savings account because it pays like 3.9%, which is better than my savings account actually with Amex. So, and then the auto buying, oh, that's awesome. Never had that before. I think it was interesting too. I told in the group chat, it doesn't buy everything at the open. I
Mhm.
thought that was weird. It didn't. So like 9:30 hit on the auto buy day, nothing happened, and I'm like, is it going to go through? Is it broke? And I'm like, well, we'll just wait the whole day and see. 10:30, all of a sudden, I got the pop up of the first buy. It did one. It bought the share, and then it did the fractional piece to make up for the
Oh
$70.
yeah.
So it was 2 buys actually, like the whole shares and the fractionals. And then it was like 5 minutes, and then it did the next one. It took an hour. So it took from 10:30 to about 11:40 for it to do the 10 stock and ETF buys, which is interesting. I'm like, I did not expect that. So it goes one at a time through your list. So, and then what other features? Oh yeah, better. The credit card is 2% cash back, where Schwab's is 1.5. Trying to think what other features. Uh, those are the main ones. I was just the features. I'm shocked how many more features Fidelity had than Schwab. I I don't know. I did not think it was that. I didn't think there would be that big of a difference. But then when I started playing one, I'm like, holy shit, I missed out. Like Fidelity's freaking amazing. But I know Jesse and Andrew both are Fidelity. So I think Fabio said he might switch soon, actually, right? I think it was
Potentially. Yeah, like
Interactive Brokers or something.
it's weird though because like I thought he was pretty happy with where he's at right now.
I think he has to call for some stuff. I
Yeah,
don't think he can do it himself. I think he has to call for certain transactions.
yeah. I thought that like some of that was also like his size, but yeah, as
Be
far as
more
work goes.
clunkier cost basis tracking is loud. Yeah, everything was painful with JP Morgan. I had like 2 stocks. I had like McDonald's shares in another company. I guess if you want to just hold stuff, if you're like a Chase,
Sure,
that's the
but
only thing I could think of using Chase for. If you're a banking customer with a credit card, their credit card's awesome.
mm,
Um, then maybe you just want to hold some long term like indexes in there. I mean, anything works if you're just holding an index, but there's nothing else with that app. It's terrible. I don't even know if they have a phone app. I didn't even get to that point with them. Well, I think yeah, I think they don't have a separate trading app. It's just part of their Chase app.
uh,
But it's just all clunky as hell. Um, so I should have made videos. Those videos, I think people watch those videos like they're like years later they'll still watch if you navigate the different ones to pick. I have not downloaded the Trading Pro. I don't really need to. So what else? Yeah, so far so good. Yeah, and they have a debit card. You don't even get a debit card with Schwab like that. So you could just have money sitting in Fidelity in a money
mm,
market, and then you could just have a debit card there, which makes so you could use your dividends. You don't even need to auto put your dividends in your bank account. You can just have your dividends flow into the
money
money
market.
market, and then you
Yeah.
have a debit card for it. So I'm like, it simplifies my dividend reinvesting. Actually, makes it a lot easier. I had to do everything manually with Schwab. Like the money would go. I didn't reinvest the dividends after a while. I just had them go into the pot, but then you had to do something once they paid you, because otherwise it just sat there and did nothing for you.
Yeah, yeah.
So actually, for dividend investors, Fidelity is superior. For a dividend style investor, I don't know why you would use Schwab. The more you think about it, because everything's manual. Wish I had known this years ago. I don't know. I never thought. I figured a good time to look. So I think that's it.
Yep.
Hold on to your butts, people. This year is going to be crazy. Tariff Wars. But okay, call it right now. Who do you think's the first nation with a deficit to make a deal with us? Make your call.
There's like 4 countries that I'm thinking of.
What's the 4?
For me, it's South Korea, Japan, Vietnam, and India.
Okay.
And the problem is I have no clue.
Make your pick. I don't think India will be first. I think they have a lot of complicated trade. I think they have a legacy of tariffs.
Yeah,
that's a tough one.
So and
I think it took them 2 years to do a tariff deal with the UK at one point.
If I recall the like rough news headlines I've glanced at here and there, I want to say Vietnam was one of the first ones to talk. So assuming that
they went to the White House twice already.
Yeah. So if they've been productive behind closed doors, because I don't think I've seen too many headlines or tweets on that, then I give them a good fighting shot. So I'm leaning towards Vietnam. Yeah, that's where I'm leaning. How about you?
Freaking guy just posted it. That's mine.
South Korea. Yeah,
I think it'll be South Korea.
Yeah, very strong contender
because they have a lot of business potentially with the United States in defense.
Yeah,
shipbuilding, contracts with the Pentagon. So I think they're going to be very interested in making a deal fast. Also, Samsung deals with like chips and stuff and memory. So my prediction, South Korea. I don't know if you can trade that, but I already started buying. I am going to start buying soon that Korean defense one.
Oh yeah. The ETF, I think it was.
Yeah. I looked at it a bit more. I tried to figure out like ship waiting, freaking backlog, which is a shit show in some of these international financials to look at stuff like that. I don't know where to look for it.
Darn you, IFRS.
But that's why an ETF is great.
Yeah.
You just buy the whole basket. Right?
Yep. Let the market caps do what it does.
Yeah. I mean, if they make a deal with South Korea, I think that thing will jump up real fast. But I'm going to just DCA into it for a while. So, oh well.
Yeah. Speaking of shipbuilding, did you see the thing that Fabio sent us about like a younger company here in the US, like trying to build like self-autonomous or like drone naval type ships?
Wasn't that Australia?
No, it's a US one. I forget the name of the company, but like I mentioned it just because we've mentioned Huntington Ingalls in the past before, and
I don't remember when it. Did I see it?
I don't know. It was some time ago. Like you might have been busy with work. Again. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I only mentioned that just because Huntington Ingalls has been brought up here in the past, and I'm based off of what I've looked at with that like younger company. It seems like we're talking like early days, and there's a size difference of like ships we're talking about. But that being said, if serious money is put behind it, and we're talking probable competence better than what we have at Huntington Ingalls, I understand if that's another factor for wanting to leave Huntington Ingalls sooner rather than later.
There is a private U.S. company that's doing a lot of autonomous ships. That's pretty interesting, but it's private. So I'm like, there's no point in talking about it. So.
Yeah.
It starts with an S, the name of it. I'll think about it, but
yeah.
I mean, are these replacing manned ships?
That's the thing.
You're going to have like a fleet of autonomous ships out in the ocean with no people. So it's like, okay, what if they break down?
Yeah.
That's the point. I'm like, so is having sailors on a boat that detrimental to the United States? I get the small, like they have the smaller ones that do certain specific missions. The underwater drones are going to be very interesting, especially with, a certain country and an island. So those would be probably pivotal to a war that could happen there, but I don't know. I'll look. I don't know which.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It can be for another day. because it's getting late. But yeah. I mean,
my
even
God, it is
then though, even without that, like Huntington Ingalls, the management team, fully understand exit planning.
we got to 230 and then it started dropping to 220. I'm like, oh boy,
Yep.
what have we done? What have we done? It started scaring me because I'm like, I don't want to go back to 180,
Yeah.
but it's held up all right.
Hmm.
I'm at a weird place though with Curtis Wright because I'm just like it's wildly outperformed my expectations. Like 2 years to double, right? Over double now. So not 5 years. I don't know. It's so expensive, but the thesis is better than ever because of $1 trillion now. But we don't know how much goes to subs yet because we don't have a goddamn budget.
Yeah.
We don't have the defense budget. It's now, what is it,
Mhm.
2.5 months late? We're supposed to get it like the second week of March. So here we are almost at 4th of July coming up.
Yeah. At
We
best,
still don't
we're
have a
just
defense budget. We know $1 trillion potentially, right? We don't know for sure. So that's part of this, but I don't know. I didn't put stop losses on yet, although I did tell people in CM, I'm like, I wouldn't hate people. You might want to put stop losses because there's been some insider selling, quite a bit of insider selling. Not like Aon, where it's like freaking the CEO just like $6 million of freaking stock just sold it. That's kind of terrifying. But yeah. I mean, this is done amazing. I mean, obviously I wish I put more money in it, I guess, but it's what you always say when the ones that do well. So this is probably my favorite stock I've bought since
yeah. This one,
the COVID clown market. This is my favorite investment.
yeah, done quite well.
Yeah. But people, okay, what's your next? It's like it's hard to find. It's so hard. It's so hard to find things you're that confident about.
Mhm.
It's like I can count on one hand per year, pretty much, when I have stuff like this. Like, that's it. You get 4 or 5 investments that you think are winners a year. Everything else, you're just fucking trading, basically. To me,
Yeah.
I just don't find a lot of great opportunities.
Mhm.
Maybe it's because my bar is higher, I guess.
Oh, that's fine.
I don't have an all stock portfolio, so I have to say, okay, if I'm going to buy this stock, how is it going to do better than like a CHG? Or why don't I just put it in my dividend account and then I can collect cash flow? So BTI, oh my God,
Hey, thank you for the super chat.
that's my second favorite investment.
Still, right now, it sits as my largest stock
God
holding,
damn.
active
Okay.
stock holding rather.
I'm going to steal a chart from Emperor Sauron. Let me give him credit.
Shout out Emperor Sauron.
I have a wait, I can't save it.
Is it a tweet?
It says I can't save the image. All right, I will snip
That's
it.
weird. Yeah.
Hold on.
Good old screen grabbing.
Yeah, I'll steal it. I gave him credit. Okay, hold on. I had a chart like this, so I was already thinking about that. No, that's not true. It's a lie. Okay, I got it. It's really small though.
Yep.
Okay.
We have our growth.
What the hell? Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Great. This is it. This is the thesis, basically. It's just like they didn't have a product after cigarettes for a long time. And it's like they got hit with the RJ Reynolds. They freaking wrote off the whole goddamn thing. Menthol cigarettes were going to get taken away from them, and things couldn't have been worse for this company. But it's like this was still on the horizon. It wasn't 100% clear that was going to be the future. But now I think at this point we all realize, and you can go look at Philip Morris. Like the stock market's telling you this is the future, because what are the best performing tobacco companies? Philip Morris and BTI. So the market's telling you this is the future. of this industry. There's finally a product that can be the successor to cigarettes. So instead of like Altria buying stakes in fucking Anheuser-Busch and other crap like that, there's an answer now to like, what do you do with all this money? You now have a viable product, and it doesn't, this product does not, you don't inhale it, which brings all those problems with carcinogens and stuff. So, it's a great bull thesis. This is my second favorite thesis, probably behind HVAC industry at this point. Then third would be like NATO spending, but this industry is just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. I mean, right now, I think you have the two players. It's basically a 2-horse race. It's Philip Morris and it's BTI.
Yeah, because you have Zen and Velo Plus for here in the States. Or
if you go to random different gas stations and you can go see, like, that's pretty much it. And then occasionally you'll see a third one and you're like, I don't know where that, maybe that's from, what's the other UK company? I don't even know if they have pouches.
Oh yeah, I forget also, because
like there's a few other tobacco companies. There's one in Virginia, and but like, man, the opportunity, like the industry's, I mean, but there's risks, obviously, like regulation. Like out of the blue, like the EU could be like, yeah, we're not okay with these pouches or something. Some new study could come out, say that they cause a different type of cancer or something, so there's those risks. But it's a better future than vaping. Like, I thought vaping was stupid. I always thought vaping was the dumbest thing ever. I'm kind of glad that it's going away as much as possible.
And in our case, also, like, cost basis matters sometimes.
Yeah.
So
I know a few people that do like, I don't even know if you call it vaping. They do like the THC oil.
Oh yeah.
It's not really vaping, like where you buy a cartridge of like nicotine and Chinese chemicals that might kill your lungs or something. So this is different. It's like a marijuana product. So I don't know if you even call it vaping. I'd call it something else maybe. Thank you for the donation. I didn't even notice that. Sorry.
But we did it. Yep.
Hopefully you're back to your safe place with us, BTI. 40%. I think I'm up 45% on it.
Yeah. It's
putting in a pouch right now. I've never had a pouch. I've never dipped. I've never done any of that stuff. So people always, well, why don't you try it? Like dip looks disgusting. Dude, you probably saw lots of people dipping in the military.
Yeah, I was gonna say you if you
everybody
didn't do it while you were in
the military. It's disgusting. Like you watch them spit in the fucking bottle. I'm like, I have zero chance of me ever trying that. I'll probably try Velos, or was it Veos?
You don't need to, honestly. Like,
maybe I'll try a nicotine pouch. Probably. I know I'm not gonna like it though.
Yeah, like you already have like the occasional or rare like momental like cigar. Like you don't need this.
Once every month or two I do a cigar with my brother on his porch. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you don't need it. Not for you.
I will say, if I go to Montreal, sometimes I smoke cigarettes because it's kind of a thing there. Like French Canadians, lots of cigarettes. So, man, I love going there to okay, not party. I'm old, but going to Montreal is so much fun. It's just, I like it more than New York City. I don't know. It's just cleaner. The nightlife is more interesting. I really like Montreal. So, if I moved out of the U.S., I would go there in a heartbeat. I'd have to learn French, I'm sure. I would try. I was 100% BTI, yet I've never smoked or done. No, don't worry. I'm half there. Yeah, I've never vaped. I've never vaped or done dip. Never done that stuff. All right, that's the end, I think. Hour and a half.
Yep.
I always say it'll be short, and then it ends up being an hour and a half. But I should cut up. What I should do is then like put it on a second channel, right? I should have 2 channels with the exact same videos. And then I'm going to get, and then they're going to have a YouTube or a Discord group's going to attack me and I'll delete everything. You don't.
I
No?
think I know what you mean. I think I know what you mean. Yeah, I think I got the reference.
Certain drama in the YouTube/Discord space,
Mhm.
which is funny. And then he shut down all of his YouTube channel, and then he opened a new channel. So
All this for what? Honestly, like I don't get it.
I have to say, like, this guy. Okay, I'll show his new channel, but is this what he titled the new one? Dividend Warrior.
I think so, assuming it's still up. Yeah, yep. Huh, that looks very familiar. Some people might say that no.
I can't compete with this guy. Like, I can't. Like, look at this. He spent 4.5 hours. I think he started at like 6 a.m. Because when I woke up, I had a coffee and then I had chores. I got up at like 8 and I look, and he was already 2 hours into his stream this morning. I'm like, this motherfucker spends like a quarter of his day doing live streams on his Discord. Like, I mean, like, you can't counter. It's like, oh, I'm going to counter and talk about all the shit he says that's wrong. It's like he talks, it's like all the time. You can't critique a 4.5 hour video. Like, it's like, Jesus. I don't know. It's funny. Like, they're like, we're fire people. It's like, aren't you supposed to do other stuff? You retire, you get all this yield max income, high yield dividends. Aren't you supposed to go do fun stuff? Not sit in front of your computer talking about the yield max funds that allow you to do stuff other than work, but then you just end up sitting at your computer.
I thought that was the idea. Like,
I don't
do
know.
anything. Like, hey, I want to pick up an instrument. Hey, I want to like be a wildlife photographer.
I know.
Like anything.
Like,
But
I
no.
went to the gym, I didn't get home till like 7, and then do some computer stuff. But anyways,
Yeah, I don't get it.
he talks about haters all the time, which we're not going anywhere.
No.
So he can think he's finding a new channel, and we'll find him wherever he goes. So, and we'll be here for the next crypto cycle where Misty gets destroyed, and then like that yield max dude in the Reddit didn't understand why it didn't recover. So we'll be there for all those people, and as they get crushed.
It's
So,
a shame. We tried. We honestly tried to.
you can't help these people.
Yeah.
You saw the boat in the Lambo.
Yep.
That's what they're thinking about. They're not thinking about 5 years from now. These things might not they might not exist in 5 years, these funds. Lambo now, boat now. It's all that matters.
I don't know. Maybe I'm the stupid person here. Like, some of the repeated and like early questions I ask is, what did I miss? Where am I wrong? How do I get screwed over? Like,
The ones that really break my heart though are the like the 20-year-olds that are buying yield max funds.
yeah.
Like, you know, like some 50-year-old guy that has 80 grand to his name that buys all these. It's like, whatever. Like, there's no recovering from the fact that he only has 80 grand invested and he's almost at retirement, and he's got disability and he can't do any work. It's like, okay, game over. There's nothing. You missed it. But then it's like the 20-year-old. It's like, what are you doing?
Mhm.
Like, there's freaking SCHG and Vong. Like, there's growth funds that will make you millionaires if you got 40 years. So it's just like the older people, whatever. I mean, there's no helping them.
Yeah.
They're desperate. Like, you can't. What are you going to tell them? Like, and some of those people, you hear them in the
Oh yeah, this
Khmer's
has
voice
to work.
chat.
I need for this to work.
They'll be like, I'm disabled. I can't work anymore. I've got 80 grand and I need this money to pay my bills. It's like, what am I going to say to them? I'm like,
Mhm.
you're screwed. Sorry. Might as well do yield max at that point. I mean, you got no other options, I guess. But in 5 years, when you lost half that, now you got 40 grand and a massive tax bill. Good luck to you. But
Yeah.
oh well.
Yep.
What did Birchborn say? Jeremy is the best Ferrari. I would, if I bought like a Ferrari, the first time I have to do a service on it, it's like 10, 12 grand. I would just be like, you just keep the damn, I'm not doing this. I go in with my Honda. It's like $300 to get like a service, $400. Done. It's an appliance on wheels, and then it gets me home.
It's funny how the things you own have a ton of owning you.
Dude, oh, Alex brought up the quantum companies.
Yeah.
Dude. Those things are running. Well,
Mhm.
I realized like a while ago, I'm like the fund.
Oh no. Shoot, I just lost Dan somehow. I'll try and reach out to Dan on Discord because.
Did I get booted?
Okay, yeah, you're back. All right, sweet. Yeah. I don't know how that happened.
I got booted. I think my internet flipped off. But like yeah, they're dog shit fundamentals, but then it crossed you could see on like Reddit that people started talking more and more about quantum. Then you would hear comments from like, Jensen Huang and then the Microsoft people and Google. You're like, okay, now this is now not just about like these companies not making any money and having shitty orders. Yeah. But now they're the future because and now that they're the future, people are going to start drawing these weird conclusions and they'll start buying it. Right. So to me, it's like the same principle as people buying Tesla because of the robots. Okay. Right. There is no revenue, but people are still buying Tesla for robots. Well, people are buying quantum stocks now because they think it's the perceived future. So, yeah, now they run away. But
it's just ISP issues or like a flare up for one moment.
Yeah, I think my internet crashed for like a fraction of a second or something.
Yeah.
Dan is dead.
Yep.
That's how I should end a live stream. Just mid talk, just turn it off.
Me just being like,
Do you remember Jay Nagy left his on once?
Did he? Oh yeah, he did.
There was a time Jay Nagy left and he forgot to turn it off, and I think it went for like 10 hours. His stream was just on, but it was funny to see.
Yeah, because I think like YouTube, like last I heard, the cap was like roughly 11 hours or so.
I think that's what happened. It got shut off at some point.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that's a wrap. Oh my God, it's 1:00.
Yep.
Well, I don't have nobody's here, so maybe I'll play some games now.
Very nice.
Thanks for joining.
Yep. Thanks for having me on. Thank you, viewing public, for sticking around.
Maybe Fabio will do a live stream at some point. He said he was going to do it more regularly, and then it's like nothing.
Then it like all like happens all at once, and then
Yeah, he does like 3 or 4, and then it's like crickets for a month. It's funny, but you can join Capital Mindset and talk to us. And then I'll never start my own Discord. There's 0 chance of that ever happening. I'm in like 4. That's enough.
Yeah.
But you have to commit to, if you don't, the only Discord I've ever seen where the person running it doesn't talk and it still thrives is Ryan Williams.
Oh yeah.
He never talks like ever pretty much in his Discord, and it's still a flourishing community. Otherwise, if you're going to run one, you have to be in there engaged. Otherwise, you're just not going to, it's going to be crickets. Like when you get to the point where it's like 1 message a day, it's like, okay, it's dead. Like nobody cares. But Mr. Income. Oh, he talks a lot in there. Yeah. I'm in there for like 3 people I talk to. That's about it. I don't talk in there a whole lot. My dividend account is mostly ETFs at this point. So I don't have a lot to talk about with dividend investing anymore. You just buy like a Wisdom Tree one that has like 300 stocks. But anyways, I'm sure I'll sell McDonald's at some point. It's coming. I know it's coming at some point. I need to start liquidating. Because it'll probably take me a few years, unless I want to take a massive tax bill, I guess. But my idea is like 4 or 5 years to get out of it a little bit at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Then I can increase like my withholdings at work to cover me a bit. I don't know. It's coming though. All right, I'm dragging this on too long.
It's all good.
Thanks for watching, people, and we will see you later.